Warning, explicit content. Listener discretion is advised. Warning.
Sexy people of the world, you just tuned in to Slip Into the Fray with me, Lyric and Fingers.
Yeah.
And tonight's show is sponsored by Hedonism 2 Negril, Jamaica.
Hedonism 2 Negril, Jamaica, where your pleasure is our passion. Find us at hedonism.com.
Thanks for joining us tonight. It's Saturday night, and we snuck out of the dungeon, right, Fingers?
Yeah.
Tonight, we went to our friend's house, to his dungeon. Say hello, Pacific Rim.
Hello.
And Stone is in the house.
Hey guys.
Oh, what's going on? Anything exciting?
It's good to be in this dungeon. It's really cool.
Oh my God, when I walked up, I was a little bit afraid. It scared me.
Look at all these instruments and stuff around. It's
Gee, I
really...
can't wait. We're gonna dig into the toy chest in a little while. Tonight we're gonna be sharing stories and asking questions and taking a peek into Pacific Rim's toy box, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Okay. And if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome to our playground. I have to warn you though, we've been told that Slip Into the Fray is highly addictive, but we've got the cure for you. It's sex, and more sex.
Yeah.
So Slip Into the Fray is sex talk with rock, some of the hottest indie rock on the planet, and the sex. And there's no boundary. We will explore it all.
Warning.
But I have a feeling once you're here, you're going to stay because we know you love to fuck. I know you do. How about you, Stone?
Jeez, I can't believe you said that word on the air.
Fuck? Pacific Rim, you like to fuck?
I like the sound of it. Yeah.
You like the sound of that? Okay. You're going to love hanging out with us tonight because Pacific Rim is going to be answering some of my questions that I've planned.
Yeah.
So anyways, if you are under 18, close this site right now. Go do your homework. Be a fucking kid. We don't want you here.
No.
And for our fans and new listeners, it's time to get naked because there's nothing better for us than imagining you out there with nothing on listening to us.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So grab a beer, grab some lube, and Fingers. Let's start the party with what song have you got tonight?
It's a band called One Less Rock Star.
Nobody needs to be shown away.
Hey, we're back. If you just tuned in, this is Lyric and Fingers, Stone and Pacific Rim in the house tonight. And you're listening to Slippin' in the Fray on Pacific Northwest Radio. Now, last show we talked to Randy Mon from Hedo, and I'm telling you, Fingers, we got to go to Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, yeah, man. Hey, this is Lyric
And Fingers
from Slippin' to the Fray on Pacific Northwest Radio.
Negril, Jamaica, Hedo.
Hedonism, too, breaks the boundaries of other lifestyle-friendly, clothing-optional resorts. Here, there's never too much of a good thing. People travel from far
And wide.
to live out their fantasies and escape their inhibitions. Leave the mundane day-to-day behind. Explore yourself as you explore the sensual and liberating environment of Hedonism, too, Negril, Jamaica.
Negril.
Decide on a clothing-optional resort or nude vacation and be no one but your beautiful self. At our resort, you can
Sleep in and stay up late. Give up counting calories. Have a drink before noon. Dine in shorts. Talk to strangers. Don't make your bed. Go skinny dipping. Don't call your mother. Let your head down.
Hedonism, too, is a sandbox for your inner child and nourishment for the mind, body, spirit, and soul. With absolutely everything included in one upfront price, you never have to think about money,
Not even my tip.
just what to do next, and if you desire, with whom.
Hedonism too, Negril, Jamaica, where your pleasure is our passion. Find us at hedonism.com.
Oh my God, just the thought of seeing live sex gets me so fucking turned on.
I know.
That's crazy. They do everything there.
Yeah.
Pacific Rim, have you heard about Hedo before?
I have not. No, tell me more.
Well, you're going to find out some more when you listen to that whole show that we did last time on Hedo.
Oh, I better go looking for
Gives
that.
you all the details, so you just have to go on our on-demand page, and that's where you're going to find all the dirty Hedo stuff. So
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Stone, what about you? Thinking about Hedo? Gets you a boner?
Oh, I'm going.
You're going?
You're never coming back.
Never come back. You know what, Fingers? What's going to happen is you and I are going to be working.
Yeah.
And we're going to be like, where the fuck is Stone?
Yeah.
And he's going to come back. He's going to be like all his clothes half ripped off.
Can we get a timeshare there?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we can talk to them and see what's going on. So Hedo is our sponsor this season. And if you would like to get involved with Slippin' to the Fray as a sponsor or advertise or get in touch, we go through so much lube in the dungeon. Oh my God. And we could really use the dough. Well, that's partly true, but there are really a lot of costs to putting on the show. So we appreciate your support. And I want to thank Tonka Toy for donating to the show tonight.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Donations are very much appreciated, and you can donate on the front page of our PacificNorthwestRadio.com site. So we want to talk to Pacific Rim now. You've been sitting there very patiently.
Good evening.
Thank you for inviting us into your dungeon.
My
Yeah.
pleasure.
The first thing that we want to know is, are you a swinger?
I am indeed. Guilty as charged.
You're a swinger, okay.
Nice.
Nice. So apparently 4% of the world's population swing.
That's all?
That's it. But that's pretty high when you think about the numbers of how many people actually live on the planet. So 4% swing. I just saw that on the internet. It may not be correct. It may be more, it might be a little bit less. But here's the biggest question of the night. And I actually, on one of our other shows, I put this out to people. How do you find out if people swing? And how do you let people know? Like, what's that conversation? I thought we could kind of start there. You know, you're sitting here at a party, there's like 20, 30 people. And out of that, if you think about the odds, there's going to be people that are into swinging. So for you and your partner, your partner's name is?
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. Okay, so how do you do that? Like, how do you find people to play with?
Well, it's as soon as you start meeting some, you meet more. It snowballs. So, for example, if you go to a lifestyle event, you'll meet many, and they will know many others, so they'll introduce you. You can find them online, and also it just seems to come up a lot more. I would suspect that it's a trend on the rise. I'd suspect that over the course of the next 10 years, we'll see more and more people involved in the lifestyle. So as a result, it just shall we say, pops up in conversation as well, especially if the conversation might be even slightly lubricated as well. I mean, if you're at a party, you get talking about what you and your partner get up to, and it's not all that difficult to slip in a few details that might perk somebody's curiosity and get you talking about things, and you'll probably find out fairly quickly and easily whether they do or whether they don't, or whether they're interested. And usually people are interested. Well,
it's very interesting. I mean, that's why we love the show, because we get to find out how people live, and sometimes some people may think it's very bizarre, some of the things, but we never hold judgment on Slippin' of the Fray, because anything goes, right, Fingers?
Yeah, totally.
Anything goes. Now, we can't wait to look inside this toy box, because I've heard a lot about it. But we're going to take a quick little break. I'm going to take a sneak peek, and Fingers, you're going to spin something. What have you got next?
I've got Borg Queen with a song called Sexorcism.
Sexorcism. And you're listening to Slippin' the Fray on Pacific Northwest Radio. This is Lyric and Fingers.
Yeah.
And tonight we're with Pacific Rim
Good evening.
in his dungeon, and Stone is in the house.
Hey!
So, thanks for having us over. Now, can we take a peek at your toy box?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's see what's lurking in here. All right. So I'll hand you the first object.
Fog coming out of it.
Okay, there is fog. Oh my god.
This was from a back-to-school party. So we have a wood paddle,
Okay.
and Valkyrie has taped on Bad Girls Only.
Bad Girls Only. We need to take a picture of this, actually.
Cool.
So we're going to put this over here for right now.
Okay.
Bad Girls Only. Okay, what else have we got?
All right, so here's a variation on the theme. Another paddle.
Okay.
But if you look carefully at the surface,
Oh.
one side and the other. Uh-huh. What
Okay,
is that
so,
surface?
well,
That's
this
for,
is
like-
actually for my nails.
Yeah, exactly. It's for sanding your nails.
For the
Sanding your nails.
foot sanding.
Foot sanding. Fingers is he has a foot fetish, so this is quite a
That's
turn
what
on
they
for
use on
him.
your heels at
Right, that gets you off, doesn't it?
the
Do you want to
pedicure
hold it?
place.
So when you're using this, are you slapping and doing this, or how would you use it?
When I've used it in the past, it's a gentle stroke with the sandpaper side, so there's a little bit of friction, heightens the senses, and then you
Okay.
turn it around and give it a give it a smack.
Give it a smack.
It's all the power of contrast, I find.
Okay, so are you are you the person that's spanking mostly?
I
or
tend
are
to be
you,
more the spanker
you're
than
the
the
spanker.
spanky.
I'm the
Yes.
spanker too.
Oh, yeah.
So we could have a spank off competition.
Yeah, we might have to. Yeah.
We were at Taboo Naughty But Nice show, and I got to spank some people like you would not believe.
Yeah.
I had the power going, and it was just, I had a couple people almost crying.
Yeah.
There was
That's
that
good.
one guy, his name was Rob or something, and you were just
Oh,
walloping. But
walloping him. He's like, "Is that all you got?" And I was like, "Oh." So
couldn't
then,
do it, huh?
then Stone got in, and he was just like whacking the guy.
Hard as I could.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he didn't
still
even
didn't feel
flinch.
it? Wow.
Didn't flinch at all.
Some people find it very, very cathartic. It's like they just go into a zone that's deeper than meditation, and they live for it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Valkyrie cometh.
Oh, nice. Good timing. All right, what else have you got in there?
Okay, so this one's not for the faint of heart.
Okay.
It doesn't look like much,
Okay.
but this is a plexi. I guess you would call it a plexi cane.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It's got a fair amount of flexibility.
yep.
Stings like nobody's business.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So you use this on.
Well, anyone who's feeling like they especially need some sting, but quite frankly, we haven't run into many people who like it.
Yeah, put your hand
To be
up.
honest with you, it's too much. A little too intense.
Yeah, that is. No kidding. We have another person coming into the playroom to play with us. Hello.
Hello.
Just in time. So Valkyrie just walked into the dungeon, and so we're continuing to look through this fun toy box. So show us what you have next. Oh, that's what I like.
So next is a kangaroo skin, leather, and suede flogger. So it's leather on the one side and then suede on the other.
Okay.
Nice.
That's really nice. Wow, that's beautiful.
I didn't know kangaroos were into that.
Oh, they're kinky bastards.
Those kangaroos?
Yeah,
Crazy.
You can get
Ow!
Yeah,
Nice.
that's a good one.
Fingers likes that one. What else have you
Moving
got?
on.
this one we call dust boot.
Is that
Or give me soul. It
So
looks
it
like
is
soul.
an
Wow.
actual Vibram boot sole.
Okay.
The manufacturer of this paddle actually orders the boot
Why
soles
not?
in a men's size 12 or 13.
Wow.
And then they just trim them down and put the handle on it. So this is a real Vibram boot sole.
Okay.
Wow.
It leaves the most amazing prints.
Oh yeah, wow. That's insane. That's huge.
That's when you
Oh,
really
yeah.
want to get your ass kicked.
Okay.
Yeah, and the prince
Let
to
me
prove
see.
it.
And the prints to prove it.
Give me a little whack there, Stone. Oh. Wow, that's good.
You very hard.
I know you don't have to. I'm limping now. Oh my god. Oh, that really. Wow. I like it.
It's got a lot of heft.
Yeah, no kidding. That's got a lot of show. Let me get a picture here.
And it's really heavy, so it doesn't have the sharpness with some of the lighter toys, but it's got a really big thud to it.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow. Okay.
Got some low end to it.
Love your toy box. And they put it in a backpack so they can just get up and go.
Well, it's a great icebreaker at
Rope?
parties.
Yeah, no kidding. Do you just lay this stuff around? It's like, oh, what's that? Well, you
It's
know.
a wonderful conversation
Oh, I
starter,
can
let me tell you.
imagine.
The eyebrows start raising the moment you open the bag.
So you have some nice rope.
A lot of it.
Yeah, that's great.
Natural fiber. So it's, okay, that one has not been as nicely organized. But you can feel the difference in, this one's been used quite a lot, so it's
Okay.
a lot softer than, they're exactly
yeah.
the same rope from the same manufacturer, one's just older and been used more.
Okay.
And so it wears it down a little, which makes it smoother and softer. So the more you play with it, the softer it gets.
Fantastic.
It's a reward.
It's a
to use it
reward.
more.
It's like, please use it more.
And they come in various lengths.
Oh,
And colors, as
okay.
you can
And
see.
colors.
Yeah, no
There's a
kidding.
red length, we've got a black length, and we have natural hemp.
Nice.
Yes, the black length is the longest one. So if you want to do like a full body harness on somebody, you'd want to use something a little longer.
Okay. And who is the tying expert out of you two?
She's better of the two.
Okay.
It's the Girl Scout training.
It's the Girl Scout. Oh, you're a Girl Scout. Do you still have a little dress?
I used to actually. I still have. I do actually. Oh my god, I do have one of them in my closet right now.
You should be
Oh,
wearing it
that's-
right now.
I did not know that.
It would not fit.
Oh, well, that's good.
There is no way that would ever get on.
What about suspension and stuff like that?
You can do it with this kind of rope. That is not something I have ever done. That's one you would absolutely never try with an amateur. You want an absolute expert who knows what they're doing. And even with something like rope, if Pacific Rim and I are playing with somebody, it's usually me who will tie them up and he who will play with them.
Okay.
Because you never want to tie somebody up and then just start doing things, because there's a lot of chance of cutting off circulation, of doing nerve damage. So you need someone who's kind of the safety person checking in all the time.
Right.
So you don't want to just go at it with them, because something bad could happen, and in the thrill of the moment, they're not really going to know what's going on. They may not notice all the kind of warning signs that they're losing sensation or losing circulation. So,
Okay. You could be the safety officer, Fingers?
Yeah.
Okay.
so I'm usually the safety officer, and Mike does all the bad things to people. so.
Nice.
It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it,
And then, here, I should open these up first.
Okay.
See if you can guess what these are.
Nipple clamps?
Yes. These ones are nice because they're basically like a very, very small vise, and you can tighten them as much as you want. Some of them are just little pinchers, but they basically have one firmness.
Right.
And so if it's too much, then you just can't use them on that person. Whereas this can go all the way shut, so you can choose. And you can also add weights.
Okay.
Depending
Of
on.
course, you probably have weights too.
I don't actually have the weights.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
We just have to hang paddles from them.
Oh, yeah, you probably hang this.
Yeah, that would do
Sole.
it. Hang the boot sole.
Hang the boot sole.
Soup cans.
Soup can.
I think you might lose your nipples out of that.
Don't tell them all our secrets there, Mr. Stone.
Sound as good
Anything
as it
else
looks.
in there? What's that?
Might sound as good as it looks.
These ones, I'm not sure where the keys are, so don't put them on.
Okay.
These are handcuffs.
Yes,
They are-
I got
they
to
are
buy a
police-
pair onto here.
They are police issue,
Oh,
so
that's
they're the
even
official
better.
ones, so they're quite hefty. So
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those are
hefty.
great. Wow.
if you know how to do it right, you just put it up to somebody's wrist and don't.
Wow.
And it goes on automatically. So you just tighten them. This is one that handcuffs are something that sound a lot sexier than they are in real life. They're actually quite painful.
Yeah.
If somebody's hands are behind them or over their head, it puts a
Right.
lot of pressure on the wrist. So
Okay.
if you're trying to, do like a takedown scene and get somebody down quickly, they're great, but not something you want to be sitting in for 10 minutes or half an hour or an hour.
Okay.
And also make sure you know where they are, and make sure you keep a spare key in a safe place.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
I remember I had to cut some off of a girl once with a hacksaw.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
spare keys are important, which is why if I don't know where those are, I'm not going to.
Yeah, those are heavy.
And then some of the best equipment you can get at the dollar store.
Nice.
And clothespins.
Okay.
They're just a standard metal, although they make plastic ones too.
These are great for nipples.
They are also,
Screw.
among other things.
Yeah.
Scrote.
Yeah, scrote. On your scrote.
If you're in a hurry, use carabiners. So if you have someone tied up with rope and you have their wrists tied or their ankles tied and you want to just tie them quickly to the bedpost, a carabiner or other kind of attachment is a really quick way of doing it.
That's perfect. I use this for my keys, so now I can just have it ready to go.
Multi-purpose.
You know where to find your prisoner and your keys.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
At the
like
same
that.
time.
The ever popular ball gag.
The ever popular ball gag.
Yeah, definitely.
The warning about that is they're hard to clean.
Oh, I can imagine. Do you just dip them in alcohol, or how do you?
That one is basically only used for. I would only use that one on me.
Okay,
just
so,
because
yeah.
it has a leather strap and you can't really clean the leather because leather's porous.
Ah, right.
So with a lot of sex toys, it's really good to get silicone ones, and then you can boil them, and then they're sterile.
Right.
So, but there are many things you can gag somebody with.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Speaking of,
What's next to the
I
nose?
like
Speaking
that
of-
horse's bit that we saw.
the horse's bit that we saw.
Yeah, that
was
was
pretty
cool.
good at Taboo.
Yeah, they
it was
have
pretty
padded
hot.
ones that you can actually bite into. There's all sorts of different, like ring gags, which will hold somebody's mouth open, but they're a metal ring that goes behind your teeth.
Oh, okay.
So they're multi-purpose. Those ones in particular. I was looking for those underwear.
No.
Fingers loves to collect underwear, so if you want to just donate to the cause.
No, I like those ones. So these are going to look dirty, but they're not. They have been all
Okay.
sterilized. They just have some of the dust from the bag. So we would clean these
cool.
before using them, but they've all been boiled.
Nice.
So solid silicone
Yeah.
dildos.
That's great. And does this one stick on the table fairly easily?
I don't know
or-
if it would.
You've
Okay.
never tried.
Yeah. Oh well, it's good to try.
And then-
I think it will. Yeah, you could probably fuck that
And then
pretty
butt
good.
plugs in various sizes.
Yes.
Again, these
Nice.
look really dusty and dirty, but I swear they've been properly cleaned and sterilized.
Yeah, no,
They're
I
just-
trust you. I'm like, oh, that's a nice butt plug. I like
And of
that
course,
one.
the ever important lube.
Isn't that
Right.
a country song? There might be a little dust on the dildo.
I think
I think there should be.
that is.
If we haven't had it, we need to write that one. Definitely.
So, water-based lube is the preferred method because silicone-based lube you cannot use on silicone toys or on condoms. So silicone lube will stay wet forever. One drop will do you for just about anything, and it stays very wet and very slippery for a very long time.
Nice.
But it will stain your sheets, it will stain your clothes, it will break down condoms, and it will break down most silicone toys.
Oh, wow.
So it's
Danger.
so water-based lubricant is great for toys and condoms and everything else. And also if you're playing with different people, a drop of lube at the top of a condom before you put it on enhances the sensation while wearing a condom.
Very good.
never
Good
done it.
information.
Good to know.
It's good to know. Excellent. Anything else in your little? I'm just taking a picture of your dildos here.
That's not one you hear every day.
Yeah, that's it. Catchy
And
phrase.
the giant box of condoms,
Nice.
even though most play places will have theirs, it's always nice to have an extra. Have a lot of extra.
Come prepared.
And then finally,
Collar.
can't beat a good leather collar.
Yeah.
Not only because it's fun, but it's a good attachment point. If you're doing like a chest tie or a body harness, you can tie it right here, and it's a lot safer than trying to do a tie around the neck. Because if you're tying somebody up, you have to be careful not to cross pulse points, so you never put knots like on the inside of somebody's wrist or on the neck. So knots have to go elsewhere, and you want to pull ropes away from the neck, pull them away from the inside of the wrist, so that you're not blocking blood flow. So it's a good way to put a restraint around somebody's neck where you know it's going to be tight enough, but it's going to be able to still work and not cut off circulation.
Keep safe.
And keep
Good
Good.
information. I like that.
Well,
I
you
like that
studied this.
Yeah, no
There are
kidding.
also books,
She's a
which we have
professional.
upstairs.
Yes, fantastic.
And there's-
Any one book in particular that you can recommend to our listeners?
My favorite, and I love the title, is called Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns.
Nice.
I like it. We'll have to read that one.
That'd be
Give
a
an
good song,
example.
too.
It would
Yeah,
be.
yeah, there's a country song in there.
That is
Or a
very
good head
much.
song, yeah.
It's kind of the BDSM 101, so it touches a little bit on lots of different types of play and how to do it. As far as like rope bondage, if you're interested in that, there's a lot of specialty books, and that's one you want to practice a lot, and you want to practice it a lot before you try anything sexual with it, because a lot of things can go wrong, and a lot of times you'll just be tying a rope and the ropes will cross and it'll end up being a pinch point and you won't realize it.
Oh, okay.
So it's you just can't practice too much.
Or you need to practice more.
Yes.
Keep practicing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. We're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
You got another song, Fingers, that you're going
I
to...
do. It's
What is it?
Abandoned Paris,
Okay.
and the song is Red Light.
Ooh, and you're listening
Nice.
to Slipping into the Fray on Pacific Northwest Radio.
It's the only way that I can see, the only way that
You
I
wanna
can
let
breathe.
go, but you're holding on tighter. You hold my soul to try and make it lighter.
'Cause you're a fighter with me.
You say you feel alone with me, and then you take a little sip of wine,
Red light.
another for the fool inside. Tell yourself that I am gonna
Hold it
change.
tighter again, but tighter again.
You're reaching for a red light.
Red light.
You grab a hold and squeeze it tight. Everybody knows you can't
Hold it
contain
tighter again, 'cause you're a fighter within. Being apart from you.
being apart. So it keeps us together.
Tighter again, tighter again.
Can't get through a moment, but we're in it
You're holding
forever.
tighter again, 'cause you're a fighter within.
You say you feel alone with me, and then you take a little sip of wine,
Red light.
another for the fool inside. Tell yourself that I am gonna
That
change.
I can see, the only way that I can breathe.
You're reaching for a red light.
Red light.
You grab a hold and squeeze it tight. Everybody knows you can't contain.
Being apart from you is the only way I see I'm gonna make it through. The feelings that I feel is gonna make you cry when I say goodbye. Being apart from you, I can see the light that is shining through. But being apart from you is the only way that I can see, the only way that I can breathe.
You take a little sip of wine, another for the soul inside. Tell yourself that I am gonna change. You're reaching for a red light. You grab a hold and squeeze it tight. Everybody knows you can't contain. Nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna change. Tell yourself that I am gonna change. Never gonna change. I'm never gonna change. Everybody knows you can't contain
The only way that I can breathe.
Warning: explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
We're back, and we are in someone else's dungeon tonight.
Yeah, it's
we're with
comfy.
Yeah, it is comfy. Pacific Rim and Valkyrie, and Stone is in the house too. Fingers?
Yeah.
You having fun? You learning
Totally.
lots?
Love it.
Okay. Have you guys always been into alternative lifestyles, or when did you all of a sudden say, this is what I'm interested in?
I actually started first. Before we even met, I was in my last relationship, had started exploring that, and it was kind of a bit of my partner's idea. And this happens a lot with the lifestyle, is the guy's like, hey, we should try this and that. And they, oftentimes the woman's a little more reticent, and then they get to a party and realize the girls are always the center of attention.
Oh, okay.
And then the guys suddenly, we get the pushback. It's like, no, I don't like this. This was supposed to be about me, and you were supposed to be hesitant and not getting any attention. And there's a lot of people who leave the lifestyle very quickly. And a lot of people go into it thinking they're just going to hunt for a girl for a threesome, which we refer to as unicorns.
Okay.
Because they're that rare. And you get dozens and dozens and dozens of couples go to a lifestyle club or a party, and all of them are looking for single girls, and all of them are unwilling to play with others. And so it's like, well, you have all these girls go into the middle, all trying to recruit each other, and all going back frustrated.
Interesting.
And yes, I've also heard it called Mormon rules, where it's one man and as many women as possible, or the one penis policy.
One penis.
It is not a good policy. You will find you do not have much luck, because single women don't have difficulty finding partners, especially at a sex club, but even outside of a sex club.
Yeah.
Women who are interested in alternative sexuality don't have difficulty finding partners. And that was the case with me. And when we met, it was actually just as a hookup.
Okay.
And I kind of introduced him, and I said, hey, do you have any interest in going to this party? And I took him, and it's kind of like opening Pandora's box.
Oh, no. Pacific Rim was like...
Almost literally.
Really?
Well, I mean, at the time I was also seeing a couple of other women, and because we met through the lifestyle, I'd sort of believed that this was agreed with all the women I was seeing at the time. I think I was seeing 3 women simultaneously.
Nice.
Of course, one of them unfortunately didn't get the memo.
Oh,
so
she didn't know you were seeing other women?
Well,
But she was seeing other people at the time as well.
because we'd met through the lifestyle,
Right.
I made the assumption, correctly or incorrectly, that she knew that we were continuing on that route. And so when I mentioned it, just to make sure we were all reading from the same book, she wasn't reading from the same book.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of blew up.
Then you were down to 2.
unfortunately. Yeah, then there were 2.
And there were 2.
I got a text message shortly after that happened. I didn't know didn't know any of this had happened. Of we need to talk, and I said, okay, here it comes.
Yeah.
Here's the I actually have a wife on the side, or I have a drug habit, or 5 children, or
I'm
something.
gay.
Bodies in the deep freeze.
Yeah, something.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
Something-
well, yeah, okay.
You know,
if you're
a
into
couple.
that.
And he said, we met on this website, and we talked about sleeping with other people. I'm like, yeah. And so I have been seeing a few other women on the side. I'm like, yeah, and it's like, no, that's it.
Just wanted to make sure you knew.
And it's like, oh, okay.
You're like,
You know, I've been sleeping with other guys too, right? It's like, oh, okay, all right, we're good.
Then we're
then.
good. Then we're
Yeah.
good.
And I guess I kind of won out by default. I think just
Yeah.
by being the reasonable one. Nice.
Now,
The
you
good
guys
thing
have
about
been
it
together
is
for a while too,
Yeah,
right?
it's been
Yeah.
probably the most drama-free relationship I've ever been into, because again, we're reading from the same page, and jealousy doesn't enter into it.
We don't fight. We don't argue about anything. And
Nice. And there's absolutely no jealousy if you're in some situation and he's spending more time with someone else. That doesn't...
if it did, I would say so. And there are times when he said, oh, I'm interested in, do you mind if I meet up with this girl, or I got invited over to this girl's house. And I said, we haven't had a lot of time together to do anything kind of kinky. Do you mind if we do something first?
Right.
And I think it's knowing, I'm not jealous of it, but at the same time, it's like, I don't feel like I have to, that I can't express myself. And if I say something like that, he'll be like, yeah, you're right, we should probably do that.
Yeah, that's cool. So you keep the communication open.
Yeah,
That's
that's
key,
the biggie.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if something happens, I'm like, okay, that didn't go as I planned, or that made me feel awkward, or I wasn't really sure about that, then we just say so. And it's like, okay, we haven't discussed this in the past. And the funny thing is, with the amount of people we've played with, the drama tends to happen to everyone else. And we've we've caused a lot more fights than we've had.
Oh, no.
Where, one person broke their rules, and every couple has their own rules of, oh, you're not allowed to do this, or I don't want...
Oh, by the way, I shouldn't actually have been sucking your cock. Oh, well, I didn't mind.
I mean, and then, their partner finds out, and it's a big drama and an argument, and times when one of the things I found is that if he's playing with a girl, then often the girl's partner expects that he gets to play with me by default. And that is not the case. And we've noticed that a lot with couples, is that women tend to take care of themselves a lot better. It's not uncommon to see women who are, fairly fit, who dress up quite a lot and, really make a lot of effort. And the guys who are wearing the same haircut they had from 1982 and likely the same outfit, and they, don't have good hygiene, and they're usually very overweight, and then they come at me. I had one guy just started grabbing me after Pacific Rim started playing with his partner, and he starts going after me, and I'm like, I have to go do something, and I just left the room entirely.
Wow.
And then he left, and then we both played with the girl after he was gone. But then they had this big fight of, oh, I was supposed to do this, or you weren't supposed to do that. And it's like, that's
Right.
You guys need to communicate.
Communication.
That.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, happily, it hasn't happened that often. It's been a pretty rare event. But it stands out simply because it happened.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of misinformation on the internet, of course, about people who swing and alternative lifestyles. Funny, there was one page where if you wear a black ring on your right hand, that is a signal. If you have bands with, notation on it and stuff, it just went on and on. I was laughing. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Yeah, exactly.
I've never seen that. It's like the gay handkerchief code.
Yeah, exactly. So there's just a lot of miscommunication. So people out there that are interested in getting into the lifestyle, please don't look for the black ring, because I have a black ring. So it's like, oh no, I'm in trouble now.
I should get one, apparently.
Get a black ring. We could start selling them.
Yeah.
Could be our business. Fingers?
Could be, yeah.
Wanna start?
In the
Okay.
darkness, bind them.
Yes,
Yeah.
What if you have a
exactly.
black cock ring?
That's hot.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I misread it.
If you're flashing your cock, then chances are people will suspect.
What if you just have a black cock? Is that the same?
Oh,
Well, I
Depends on
don't.
if you're cut or not, I suppose.
there you go. Yeah, and it, is it big?
Yeah.
That's a question.
Yeah.
We want to know all
It's too
this
small
stuff.
to see, then it's really a moot
That's
point.
right. It's like, oh my God. What would you suggest to somebody that wants to start getting into alternative play?
Communication. Number one. I mean, assuming you're in a partnered relationship, you have to talk about everything. And you also have to set expectations of, tonight we are going to look and talk and no more. And then go back and say, okay, how do we feel about that? Or, you set boundaries. And sometimes there are things that happen that you forgot to talk about, that we didn't anticipate this would happen. And we went and did it, and here's how I feel about that.
Right.
And being able to say, okay, we didn't discuss that, but, no boundaries were broken because we didn't set any around this, and be able to kind of compartmentalize that and say, okay, this is how I felt. And I don't know if it's you or me. I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know if it's insecurity on my part. But when you did this, I felt, or when you did this, I felt, and in the future, I would like.
Okay.
And
Cool.
and you have to be really clear, and you have to be forgiving within reason. Like, if you say, I absolutely don't want you to leave the room without me, and you do, then yeah, that's a trust violation, and then that becomes something you talk about. I mean, despite us having this agreement, if I came home and found him in bed with another woman and he never told me, and I never knew about it, I would consider that cheating just as much as anyone else would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there has to be trust and communication and consent, and things that violate that are still cheating.
Okay. Yeah, those
Cool.
are good answers.
Very cool.
Do you want to take on another musical break?
Okay.
What you got?
Plans and disguises.
Ooh,
Ask.
I like this one. You're listening to Slippin' of the Fray on Pacific Northwest Radio.
Wait, waiting for this, watching for signs to come and signals that I might miss. Time
Warning, explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
So we are here, if you guys are just tuning in. We're having lots of fun in a dungeon outside of our dungeon.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, do you guys belong to a club at all? Is there a specific club that you like to go to, or...
Sorry, go ahead.
And you can plug up any club in Vancouver if you want to. That's where we're...
We've been to a number of them with varying degrees of success. Each club tends to focus very much on a particular demographic, whether or not they're doing that deliberately or it's just happened to attract that. So something like Sin City, you can't really play. It's all... You can have some like impact play over clothes, but you can't be naked, you can't have sex, like... any of that kind of stuff.
No exposed genitals, I think it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Breasts?
Breasts are okay.
But yes, topless is okay, bottomless is not. So you can have some impact play, but you can't actually have any kind of sexual intercourse. Then you have MVK, which has a huge BDSM room and a sex room, but you can't do the BDSM in the sex room and vice versa. And they'll have their own rules. And so Sin City tends to attract the younger kind of crowd, and the people who want to be seen dancing
like
topless
posing
in leather. Yeah,
a lot.
They call the S&M. There stands for stand and model.
Oh, nice. Oh,
So
jeez.
there's lots of pretty young people who want to be risque and wear a leather skirt and dance topless. Very, very few of which, in my experience anyway, are interested in actually doing anything other than kind of, dipping a toe into. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm very risque.
Yeah.
MVK has the people who really, really play.
Yeah.
But it tends to be very much a person shows up with their partner, they play together, they leave together.
Okay.
And it's just a place to do that a little more publicly and with fancier equipment.
Oh, that's fun.
So they have like suspension rings, so you can do a full suspension.
That's that.
You can do, they have a St. Andrew's cross, they have spanking benches, all the really nice equipment, and then you can go off to another room and have sex in front of a dozen people if you want to.
Nice.
Then you have Club Eden, which is an on-premises club, which means you can have sex there. So bottom floor is drinking, dancing, topless is okay, but bottomless is not. Upper floors, no alcohol, but bottomless and sex is okay. So it's a law here that prevents that. So you can't have, it actually comes from brothel laws, weirdly, you can't have lower body nudity and alcohol.
Okay.
So there's also Club Allure.
That's a good combination, though.
You'd think, yeah.
Yes. Club Eden tends to attract a younger crowd tends to be more the kind of first timers and the unicorn hunters and all of them. A few of the
More dance club oriented as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So lots of like nightclubby music, if that's your thing, which not as much my thing, listening to techno until 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I mean, some people like it.
Yeah.
Club Allure is a little more... There is a dance floor, but it's very much more of a play oriented. So most people who are there are playing actively, but it tends to attract an older crowd. So people tend to be kind of mid-30s and up. Main demographic tends to be in the 50s, in my experience.
It's a little more of a house party atmosphere. So the one nice thing about it is that you can actually have a conversation with people. And it's... I had a friend who pointed out that it's funny that the convention is, when you go to a club, you go to a place where you can't hear people and you can't see people, and you go there to get to know them.
Yeah, no kidding.
It doesn't really make a lot of sense. So a place like Allure, you actually can see them, and you actually can hear them, and you can get to know them better.
Is that the place that you guys prefer to go then?
It's one we've had the most success. The ones we tend to enjoy the most are private parties.
Okay.
So you go to some of these parties to get to know people, and then you get invited to the more private parties. And when you're at somebody's home, you're not dealing with membership fees, but you're also not dealing with the laws of, alcohol sales versus nudity. So that makes it a little easier as far as, okay, don't need to worry about leaving my wine glass on this table before I walk up a flight of stairs and being escorted, ensuring my partner is escorted, because usually unaccompanied men are not allowed anywhere there's sex. And that's something that is quite a surprise to a lot of people, is most times single men are not allowed into clubs at all. So single men are usually not allowed into clubs at all. And unaccompanied men are not allowed into any areas where there's sex, typically. And that's just because there are a lot of people who use something like a sex club as a way to get their rocks off. Basically, they'll sit in a room and watch everybody, and not in a sexy way or an appreciative way, but in a really creepy, gross way.
Okay.
And they use it as a way because they think, oh, I'm just going to get laid as much as I want here, and so they tend to behave in a very predatory way.
Oh, creepy.
At least that's the fear. I mean, I'm happy to say I don't think we've attended clubs where that's been the case.
I've had that happen a few times.
Oh, really?
Isn't that a Wally?
That's a Wally. That's what the people at Hedo call single guys that kind of creepy and hanging around. It's a Wally.
Yeah, I've seen that in a number of places where somebody comes in, and sometimes guys will hire a prostitute to come with them as a way of getting in the door and avoiding the no single men rule.
Yeah.
And then
Or they could bring their sister.
I can't imagine that would happen. That would be odd, but
you never know. Well, maybe it's just half sister, so it'd be okay.
Yeah,
right?
that's your stepsister.
Your
Let's go stepsister.
Someone else's sister.
Somebody's sister is going to be with her.
Yeah, she could be a nun. You know?
So I thought it'd be fun. We'll take a quick little fun break here. We're going to do a word association game.
Okay.
So I'm going to say a word, and you guys just say whatever you want. Okay? Grind.
gay app.
Sticky.
Yummy.
Wet.
Tongue.
Porn.
Why are you looking at me?
I put too much wine. I can't think.
Anybody can yell out porn.
Voyeur.
Oh, okay. Squirt.
Yes.
Fetish.
Yes.
Bite.
Please.
G-spot.
God, yes.
Cum.
And now they're looking at me again.
Stone's not saying
Often.
anything. Often? Okay. Fingers.
All.
Probe.
Ass.
Tasty.
Ass.
All
yeah,
right.
Pacific Rim. I mean, I don't.
I know. So I want to ask you, Pacific Rim, what is your kink? What is your ultimate kink?
I don't think I have an ultimate kink. And
What's your favorite? What's just like gets you there every time?
gets me well to take a woman who is intelligent and articulate and composed and to bring out her primal streak. That gets me, like the contrast between the two.
That's hot.
Yeah.
I think so.
Bring out a primal scream.
Ooh, I like it. And what about you?
It's too many to list.
Just think if you're the one that, oh my God, this is at the top of my list.
I want to do a full takedown where I'm the one taken down. But the difference is I want to be able to actually fight back as much as I am able to.
But lose.
And lose.
And lose.
And that's, yes. But the problem is I'm very strong. And so you'd need a fair number of people who knew what they were doing.
Which is okay.
I'm okay with this. But there's obviously a lot of logistics involved in getting that happen, and also finding people that you trust that are not going to injure you or, do anything untowards, because doing a takedown seems really straightforward until you actually do it. And
So for people that don't know what that is, maybe just quickly explain that.
It's basically they call it consensual non-consent, is the idea of doing like a rape fantasy or something like that. Is you're pretending to not consent, but it all has to be done safely. Is you have to have a safe word. You have to have there's even nonverbal safe words. If you put something in someone's mouth, you need to have a nonverbal safe word so the person can indicate immediately if something is
Stop
going wrong.
or whatever.
Yeah. And if you're taking somebody down, it means literally taking somebody and like fighting them to the ground. And there's a million ways to do that where the person is going to be injured at the end. But there's not a lot of ways to do it safely. It's something that police train for a lot and military train for a lot, of how to do a takedown safely and get somebody in handcuffs without giving them a concussion or breaking their arm. And so
you need to get a bunch of policemen.
That must be it. Firemen, maybe?
In uniform.
Firemen in uniform,
We can host lessons at our dungeon.
We could host lessons.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. We'll start that. That's our new business. We're going to start.
I've been seeing the fireman calendar, so I'm completely here for that.
Okay, good. Well, we'll let you know when that happens. Favorite sex positions?
Yes.
Okay.
Doggy.
Doggy?
Yeah.
Yeah, both you like doggy?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. How many people have you had sex with at one time? Rough estimate. 30, 40?
I'm thinking.
What's that called? A quint?
A quint.
Well, there were more than 5 people
Quints on
in
my
a room.
cunt.
Yeah, I guess it depends on if you include observers as well.
How do you count sex?
Anything that everybody's entangled and it's just
What if
everybody's
there's
together.
lots of people there, but you're not touching some of them?
Okay, well.
Let's say on the same bed, but
There was
Yeah.
I think there was about 10 in the room.
Okay.
I think you had sex with. I think you had sex
oh, my
with
pecker.
5 of them.
sounds about right. That was a very happy New Year.
It was a-
That was Happy New Year.
It was a good New Year.
Wow, Happy New
I
Year.
think that sounds about right.
Okay, and do you have a gender preference to play with?
No, it very much depends on my mood.
Okay. Depends on what's going on. How about you?
I'm straight.
Yeah, okay. Will you allow a guy to play with you though if that comes down, or is it no sword crossing?
Yeah, well, I'm okay with sword crossing, I suppose. I mean, if it were a male female arrangement, I'm okay with that. But and I would hope that I'm not phobic. But I mean, I was raised in a very homophobic sort of environment, so I've had to kind of undo that over time, and I must say it feels really good to lose the hatred that's conditioned into you as a kid.
Right.
But how okay I am with it now, it really remains to be seen. It hasn't really come up.
Okay.
Well, we've had sex. The one with the 10 people in the room. There was, men and women naked having sex, like right next to him, and it was never a problem. There was never any awkwardness, or it's not like he couldn't perform or couldn't continue or didn't want to see naked men or anything.
Yeah.
They're there and it's fine. It's
So
just
we held each other's beer. It was very.
Oh, good. Okay, that's important. Talked about sports after, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Tell her to say the name.
Say the name. Say the name. What's the wildest sex situation that you've been in? And it could be just if something happened off the cuff, or you're on a
I'm
train.
not telling this story.
Oh, you have to.
No.
Oh, please.
No, I'm pleading the fifth.
Okay.
Because it would incriminate you, or
No, it wouldn't incriminate me. It's just very, very dirty.
Well, we like dirty here on Slippin' of the Fray.
We're pretty,
We're pretty
we're
up
rank.
there. We're rank. we rank top for the rank.
Yeah.
Filthy dirty.
Filthy.
you can censor it if you want to pull it off.
Yeah,
No,
We were,
No,
just,
I'm
we were
not
talking
telling the story.
about
No?
shitting
Yeah.
in mouths on the way here.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
That one I have not done, but no, I'm not talking.
There's always time.
That's okay. I'll think of a second place one and tell that story. But you can go
Pacific
first.
Rim, do you want to enlighten something?
Oh. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that I've done that's all that extreme. I guess it depends on where you're coming from. I mean, certainly the sex parties we've been to, if you consider it pretty crazy to be having sex with that many people. I mean, not that long ago, we had a girl come over who was turning 20. So she got birthday spanks.
Nice.
And I was more than twice her age. She approached me for this. She was into it, and she lost count a lot, so we had to restart the birthday spanks again.
For sure. It's like, you're
She lost count
195?
a lot.
Yeah.
I think it was deliberate.
It's like, really?
Was it with the boot?
Oh.
No, it was actually with the cane on her feet.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's one that most people don't like, but she was super into. Like she
Wow.
was.
That's hardcore.
It was. I just usually give a tap, and everyone just curls their toes.
Yeah.
But no, she was really into it. She got, as soon as I touched her feet, she was just super excited.
Wow.
We have footage to prove it, too.
you would like that.
Yeah.
Fingers loves feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a definite foot fetish.
I'm not a fan of feet, but hitting somebody's foot is really. I will never hit someone's hands. Just even if they ask me to, there's too much in there that's too sensitive that you can damage. But feet are a really good way to teach someone a lesson.
Yeah.
It's very, very sensitive.
Nice.
Have you guys ever been somewhere and just watched and not participated?
Oh yeah, quite a lot.
Yeah.
sometimes we go to the clubs and there's just not people that strike your fancy that time, or you try to hit on somebody and they're just not interested and you move on. And it's something you have to get really good at, is saying and hearing no, and just understanding that it's something we're very, very bad at, this idea that rejection is this personal insult. And yet when you think about it, you're not attracted to 99% of the people on earth.
Right.
So it makes sense that 99% of the people on earth aren't attracted to you. So for every 100 people you ask, you might get one yes. So no is the default most of the time. And yet when you get a no, people take it very personally. And less so in the sex clubs, but there's still that idea of pressure, and sometimes the partner pressure of, oh, this girl wants to sleep with me, so you have to go sleep with this guy, and they call it falling on the grenade.
Oh, nice.
So you're kind of
time to blow up.
You're taking the bullet for someone else, and it's like, no, nobody
Right.
throws themselves on the grenade. You don't have to do anything with anybody. There shouldn't be any pressure. And there are times we go to clubs and strike out, or just we don't even make an attempt because it's like,
Just doesn't nothing.
yeah, there's just nothing you're
Yeah.
really interested in, and so you just talk to people, and it never hurts to build up your social skills and your communication and learn how to talk to people. And I answered a million questions about the toy bag and how it works. And
Yeah, no kidding. Well, you got some sexy shit in there.
Yeah.
Holy Jesus.
but I like talking to people who are inexperienced about stuff like a safe word and how it works. And
So important.
I had one time at a party, I had this girl who was tied up, and I was flogging her, and it was a weird situation. She was completely into it. She was over the moon. Her partner gets around behind my back and starts to try to grope me. Of course, I see him coming, and I pretended it was inadvertent, but it was completely deliberate. Smacked him in the face with the flogger.
Nice.
And then said, oh, were you standing there? You probably shouldn't be standing anywhere near me because I'm swinging this thing like 5 feet in every direction. And he moved around slightly abashed, but I knew what he was going to try. And then he starts talking to his girlfriend and says, well, you never let me hit you that hard. And in my head, I'm thinking, that's because you don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Because you're going from 0 to 10
Right,
off the bat.
of course.
You're not doing any warm-up. You're not watching someone's body language. You're not seeing how they're responding, because people pull away when it's too hard and they push towards you when they want more.
Yeah.
And you have to watch that, and you have to see and take breaks and vary intensity, because if you just hit somebody the same intensity over and over and over, if it's too much, it'll be over in minutes. If it's not enough, they're not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it has to be gradual, and you have to build up the intensity, and you have to pay attention to your partner. Flogging somebody is 100% about them, and you have to know what's going on. But anytime I'm introducing somebody to it, the first thing I talk about is, what are your limits? What safe word do you want to use? If they don't have one, then I'll give them one. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask you about pain thresholds from 1 to 10, and 10 should be way too much. I'm going to try to keep you at about a 7 or an 8, but you need to tell me, what is a 1 to you? What's a 5 to you?
Right, exactly.
And, they call it the campsite rules, is you always leave somebody better than when you started. It's like when you go camping, is you leave the campsite better than when you found it.
Well, you'd hope so, right?
Yeah, and so that's very much how I feel with kink too. And even if there's nobody we want to play with, I'm really happy to talk about it and kind of talk about that stuff and get people more educated and teach them how to play safely. Because it's like anal. So many people try it once and never do it again because they did it with an asshole partner who didn't know what the hell they were doing and hurt them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, ow.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
put that in my ass
Don't
ever
ever
again.
touch me there.
That is
What the
exit
hell?
only.
Yes. And Pacific Rim and I have played with a lot of women where we've introduced them to anal, and they're like, oh, I'm really not sure about that. And by the end of it, they're like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Because you don't start by
ramming it in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, take your time.
Yes.
Introduce somebody
Yes.
to something.
warm that kitty up.
Oh, I like that. Ooh.
Hey, this is Lyric
And fingers.
from Slip Into the Fray on Pacific Northwest Radio.
Negril, Jamaica, Hito.
Hedonism too breaks the boundaries of other lifestyle-friendly, clothing-optional resorts. Here, there's never too much of a good thing. People travel from far
And wide.
to live out their fantasies and escape their inhibitions.
Leave the mundane day-to-day behind. Explore yourself as you explore the sensual and liberating environment of Hedonism 2, Negril, Jamaica. Decide on a clothing-optional resort or nude vacation and be no one but your beautiful self. At our resort, you can
Sleep in and stay up late. Give up counting calories. Have a drink before noon. Dine in shorts. Talk to strangers. Don't make your bed. Go skinny dipping. Don't call your mother. Let your head down.
Hedonism 2 is a sandbox for your inner child and nourishment for the mind, body, spirit, and soul. With absolutely everything included in one upfront price, you never have to think about money,
Not even my tip.
just what to do next, and if you desire, with whom.
Hedonism 2, Negril, Jamaica, where your pleasure is our passion. Find us at hedonism.com.
We're back.
Yeah.
Fingers, this has been fun. Just it's good getting outside. A lot of times we're stuck in our dungeon and we never get out. We really want to thank you guys for having us in your dungeon. And is there anything else that you want to say before we say goodbye? Just give a shout out to anybody or say something really sexy and dirty to us.
Enjoy the lifestyle, get to know it, experiment. You only go around once. Have some fun with it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Valkyrie?
that's really good.
And I'm going to be the safety one.
Safety girl.
Smokey the Bear of sex.
I'm the smoky.
Smokey
the
the
Bear.
to prevent house fires.
Oh, nice.
Is I am a 100% believer in enthusiastic consent. Is I never want to hear a grudging yes, an unsure yes, a tentative yes. I want to hear a screaming from the rooftops yes.
Oh, can you give us a scream yes? Come on, give us one.
We're going to kill your equipment.
I would 100% kill your equipment.
Call her Valkyrie for a reason.
Oh, now I want to hear it.
No, I have brought three orgies to a stop who was screaming too loud.
Wow.
That's not a joke. That's
Okay.
Actually, everyone stopped having sex because I was
they
screaming
didn't
so
know what
loud,
was
and they're like, "What is going on?"
Somebody help her.
No, they were all. It was obvious that it was good noises, but it was just the sheer volume of it that everybody's like, "What is going on there?"
Oh, okay.
Like people have left their rooms to come into the room that I was into because I am loud.
You're very vocal.
Yes.
That's okay. We like that.
Yeah.
Fingers, guess what time it is?
It's email time.
No. Let me do that again. Fingers, guess what time it is?
Quiz time.
Oh. Fingers, guess what time it is?
Time to go.
It's time to go. Aw, sexy people, tune in every Saturday night for another episode of Slip Into the Fray with me, Lyric and Fingers.
Yeah.
And if you missed a show, how can people find us?
HTTP PacificNorthwestRadio.com.
Nice. Download, subscribe. That way you don't ever have to miss a show. And if you want to sponsor the show or advertise with us, write the station at PacificNorthwestRadio@gmail.com and the subject line put Slip Into the Fray. Leave us on all day long. We play music 24/7 online all the time. Plus there are some very cool shows every night at 9 p.m. And don't forget to write to us because we want to hear all your dirty little secrets at slipintothefray@gmail.com. Fingers and I want to thank our season sponsor, Hedonism Negril, Jamaica.
Hedonism 2, Negril, Jamaica, where your pleasure is our passion. Find us at hedonism.com.
You can listen to our full interview with Randy Mon from Hedo. Head over to our on-demand page and find out all about Hedonism 2 Negril, Jamaica, because that's where you can fuck and suck and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
All the time. Thank you, Pacific Rim and
Pleasure.
Valkyrie,
Thanks for
for
having
being
us.
on the show tonight. Stone, you were pretty quiet tonight. What's going on
That
over
was a
there?
quiet night for me, yeah.
I know, he's just
I was
the
listening.
voyeur. He's the listener tonight.
He was stone silent.
He was stone silent. Say goodnight, Fingers.
See ya!
Until next time, happy fucking everyone. Peace out.
You think